time to go over Fight Night, an event I did not watch, see, or know about until 6 hours after it happened. Really, the only thing I can give you guys right now is pretty much the result and what it means for the future. We'll go start in the main card. Harry Golovkin and Abdullah. That basically ended exactly how you thought it was going to end. Abdullah getting outclassed, Harry Golovkin winning by the signature unanimous decision where he doesn't knock him out necessarily, but he just beats him pretty handily. He's done this to many opponents like Dax. His decision win over Jam. He will drag the fights out to the decision if he has to, and he went pretty far with SSI too, even though he did knock him out. He has a way to basically pick you apart. It's a very exciting style that can go for these fight of the night type of fights, which what we saw with him and Jam in my zone, and what we saw with the two notorious fights, how far he can go into a fight. So now you think about what's coming after this fight is, well, Abdullah needs to start working. I don't know, man. I mean, he fought probably the fourth best middleweight in the world, maybe even the third best middleweight in the world, depending on what you think between him and Jam Jones at this point. But I don't know. I don't know what to say. Next, we move to Gabriel Cotto and Dan Bivol. I am very proud of Gabriel Cotto here. I am very happy he got this victory because now, well, technically he's 2-0, but he's 3-0. First fight, he had a lot of weaknesses, I think, that he showed in the ring. The second round, he improved and he just went to war with them. Dan Bivol is no slouch of a guy. He is a very, very good fighter, and I mean, he took on Gabriel Cotto, who looks to be a real threat. That is scary. Man, that is scary. Man, let me tell you something. That is very, very scary because now, look at this. Stoppage in round 4. That's a big deal, guys. Very big deal. Cotto, if he puts up a few more wins on his resume, I think there are guys that he can fight like Dan Holdings, Bloxy Pacquiao, King. He can fight a few more guys, and you can see him in that title picture. That's a very big win for him. Technical knockout. Honestly, I didn't see the fight, so I can't really make that big of a deal out of this as of yet, but I don't care. I'm very happy that he won this fight. Congratulations to him. Now, Tho versus Tony Valentino. I don't think people were that shocked by this. I mean, Valentino was thrown into a situation where he had to fight Tho Rashad. Tho Rashad's a very good fighter. He has been inconsistent at times, but dude knows how to throw a punch. He knocks out Tony Valentino. That is difficult to do, man. In these new tools, man, that is difficult to do. You're talking multiple knockdowns. You're talking with great knockout power, which the Rashads definitely do have. I think Tho is going to go places in the future. Good for him as a heavyweight. He needs to just keep moving up the ranks. I mean, it's a top heavy division. If he can get up there, if he can work, who knows? Let's move on to Boss Raimondo and Grand Peace. All you need to know is Boss knocked Grand Peace out in the second round. Don't give Peace shit for it because, I mean, the dude skills don't translate into RBC, but he's a very good side-fed fighter. Don't judge him for this very fight because, remember, Raimondo is a different type of beast. Now, Ace Jones, Mizzy Paul. This was probably going to be the most competitive fight of the night until for many people what they thought before the card until what they saw in the main event. Co-main event, man, Ace Jones came back with a vengeance. He dominated Mizzy Paul. New weight class, baby. That is a very good start for Ace Jones. I think a former title contender. I will go back and check that. But yeah, I mean, that is a very, very good start on this return. I mean, you're talking about Mizzy Paul is a former two-time title challenger for WBA against Dodo. He very much almost won that fight. And yeah, I mean, that's a big deal. Man, that's a big deal because I don't know if he's an actual title challenger. I'm checking something real quick. No, he was in middleweight and then he lost Notorious. Oh, okay. So he was a former. Was he a former champion? Bear with me, y'all. I can't find it. I don't have the time to do that research. Anyway, let's talk about this because this is big. You're 5-2 now in the toughest weight class in sport. Guys, there's a new contender at middleweight. I mean, they're popping up everywhere now. Good fighters like Mizzy Paul and Dodo Paul are going under the radar because this division is so crazy. And we got a main event for RBC Fight Night 16 announced, which I'll go over in the next video. Man, let me tell you something. That that's interesting. That he beat him unanimous decision. Wow. Okay. Moving on to the main event. 6-round bout. Controversial. Fight of the night. Khalid Rashad beat Drew Garcia, and I heard what I heard was it was basically first two rounds. Drew got the better of Khalid, and then Khalid did something called adjusting. He adjusted to Drew Garcia and won. That is not really a Khalid Rashad thing, is it? Lately, that has been the case. He did it against Dax. He switched something up in that fight where Dax was kind of confusing him a little bit. Obviously, it's his return. You're getting a few goosebumps. I mean, you're returning to RBC competition. That's a big thing for you. But this is a new Khalid Rashad. This is not a guy who's relying on knockout power anymore. This isn't a guy in those Cruzar fights. This is a different fighter. And maybe it doesn't look as convincing, but guys, Drew Garcia is no slouch. He is one of the most talented fighters on the roster right now. And, I mean, looking at the future of Khalid, you're eyeing on so many different types of fights. And, obviously, the Cruzaro one's out there. You could be going for another middleweight contender. I've known the name Jakub Jankowski a lot. It's going to be very fun to see what he does in the future. But that was next week I hope delivers just as much. That was a pay-per-view worthy fight card. What we saw right there. And I'm sure it was fun. Anyway, question of the day. What is Khalid's next fight? Who do you think Khalid is fighting next? That's all I'm going to leave you. That's what I'm going to leave you with right there. Because Khalid Rashad's got a few options. I mean, we've heard before. I mean, we've heard that Notorious wants to fight him as a money fight. Wouldn't that be cool? Jakub, number one contenders fight. He said he didn't really want that fight, but that's cool. Cruzaro, okay. I mean, that is the money fight in RBC. We'll see where that goes. I mean, there's a lot of options from the table. And what do you guys think?